For our project, we looked at data given to us by the Harvard Office for Sustainability, and they are about to complete a goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 30% from a 2006 baseline, and we wanted to visualize the data they have and make it more intuitive for Harvard students and people on campus to understand how Harvard deals with and tracks its energy and emissions. So here we have the different visualizations we have that you can jump to directly, or you can just scroll through. So our first visualization is a map for all the buildings on campus, and you can scroll around and look at the different buildings. They are all color-coded by building type, and you can also filter the map to only show building types that interest you, and you can zoom in. The buildings will give their names when the mouse is hovered over, and you can click in order to generate a chart for that particular building, which shows its data over time, as well as the campus average and the building average, or the building type average. You can also look at the different types of data that are collected, and scroll around and click whichever buildings you want to take a look at. The next visualization we have is a chart that also depicts all the different buildings on campus by their greenhouse gas emissions and energy use, and makes it easier to compare them directly. So here you can sort them either alphabetically or by output, and pick whichever building you want in order to get the name and output, and you can filter once again by building type. So you can get a sense of which buildings use the most energy and release the most emissions on campus. The next visualization we have is the Harvard campus as a whole and the different building types as categories. And so we wanted to give an intuitive sense of how much energy and emissions the Harvard campus uses. So here we have a pictographic scale for our stacked area chart, where each of these house icons represents 2,500 average homes in Massachusetts, and the collection of those homes represents the maximum value for each scale on the two stacked area charts, and you can hover over each to see what the category is and select it to get a more detailed view. For example, here are the wet labs, and they emit the same amount of emissions as a whole lot of homes, and quite a few, same amount of energy as quite a few homes. We also have a system diagram here, where you can look through and see how the energy is used and generated for Harvard's campus, and learn more about each of the different methods of production of energy and the largest categories for how it's used. And you can also take a look at the sustainability report for the Office for Sustainability, and at our process book by the links at the top and bottom of the page. Thanks for taking a look.